what's up guys, welcome back to Railway Empire 2, and this is part 2 of No Espresso, Much Depresso. When we finished last time, this is where we were set up. Hopefully you guys have been following along, and you can see the tactics I have been using. The next task to carry on with here, well, I'm just going to check research for one. We're not interested in auctions. We're not interested in saboteurs. I'm not really interested in that. I shouldn't really have clicked that one because these electric trains don't use oil and water. The next task will be to increase these lines to 6 so that we can have the correct infrastructure in place ready for warehouse lines then. So we do that, and we'll do the same to the middle. We are making good money now, so it's not an issue. We're going to have to lose these again, unfortunately, just while we implement that. They aren't cheap lines, of course, but once they're in place, we don't have to come back to them again. And now we can run that in, knowing that that's going to run directly to Chechvia without issue. And then we'll run. Do we run that in on its own single line now to the warehouse, so that again doesn't block anything up? Or yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll run it to the warehouse so that it doesn't block anything up. It can be its own individual line then, and not be an issue. Beautiful. And look at that, we've burnt 800,000 in a matter of moments. That's how quick it is to eat up money in this game. But for this one, we'll just put 2 tracks so that it's running on its own individual little line. Now what we want to be doing is making sure that what's going on there? The terminal to warehouse one. Let's get that unloaded and then we'll redo the line. So now that will go from there. Should be fine like that. There we go. Okay, brilliant. Right, and then we can look at where our warehouse trains are running. So we've got warehouse 1 to Rome, we want that to run. So let's edit that. Like that. Have we not? Oh, look at what we've not done. And then the the next one is the one to Chechvia. So we edit that so that it runs. Oh no, hold on, something's not gone right there. Right, we've got the express running down that one. We can upgrade that to 3 trains now. And then on this one, we've got Chechvia to Rome. Which we want running down that middle line there. Like that. Okay. And then that now runs down that line. That's because I've not put the gridiron there like that. Right. Let's fix that now. Down there and down there. So now that's going to you know, not block up that line as well. And let's just make sure that we are running correct here with the tracks. Beautiful. Right. Okay, that took a little bit more than I wanted it to, unfortunately. So now we're going to finish this to here. Train out of the way. And that's going to run yep, that's absolutely fine. And what you'll find later, guys, is that we will increase the amount of trains doing this. So that we have got a really strong supply of everything. At the minute, it's just bare minimum, but we are making money. So the next task will be to then further extend up to here. But we want to be making sure that we've got a warehouse. We've got warehouses also running here as well. That not running there. That's the warehouse too. That will be fine. That will increase as demand increases. So let's start making our first line up to there. And what we want to do is start with our warehouse line. That is so that we can start getting milk into the warehouse. Oh, look at that. We're going to end up having to pay. I don't want to pay for tunnels if I don't need to. Okay, let's see if we can go a little bit of the longer way round and get this without tunnels, maybe. Painful, yes, but is it the right thing to do? Also, possibly, yes.
Another task completed.
Oh, look at that, we should go through the wood as well. Now, wood's not necessarily going to be going to this warehouse, of course. Wood will be going towards Naples. Keep the money flowing while we're doing. Ooh, God, that is very expensive, isn't it? That's the only problem with these, is that you know, they do become rather expensive lines. And for now, it's just going to be what it kind of is, unfortunately. Once we get the money really flowing, it's not going to be an issue, guys. This is why we're only running one train at the time, a minute for each city. And once we get milk there, we'll probably increase that to 2. We just need to get milk there. Let's see what that's going to cost. Try and go at the narrowest sort of point here. $210, so we're going to need at least probably half a mil. So 223,000 to complete that. So what we're going to be looking at is a warehouse around here and a warehouse around here. Probably we'll get away with probably 2 warehouses, which will be ideal. And we'll figure it out as we go, as the goods get produced. Now, I'm not worried about Rome not growing or anything like that. What I might look at is how much is that going to cost to upgrade that. 361, because it is constantly making, as is cloth, which is really, really good. And that could probably do with being leveled up as well. So we are making plenty of money off these businesses now. produce sweets in 7 cities. Wow. Wow, yeah, because that's really ideal. Can't you tell this is something like we really don't need to focus on? Okay, so now look at that, we've got milk. What I want to do is just have a look at how much milk's actually going to cost us. 91,000, let's purchase that because that's going to be a huge money maker for us. And we then also get milk in warehouse number 1. And what we'll do is we will just put the waypoints in so that when we increase the track lines, it stays on the correct track lines all the way to its final destination, warehouse 1, so that we don't have to mess around with that again. And we'll probably run, to begin with, 2 trains, but that could really increase to 5, 6 trains later. Because we're going to put cheese here at Naples because that is an absolute perfect place for it, and its natural progression would be cheese, and then we'd look at the probably leather in Benevento, as leather would be another ideal commodity as the piggies are there. But we're now moving further towards our next destination here, guys, which is brilliant. Does all look very complicated, I get that, but it is going to work. It's absolutely bang on, this setup. And the good thing is, because the cities aren't growing a lot, it also means that for us that we're not having to focus on pushing more and more out. So let's upgrade that to 2 trains now. I think we're going to have to increase a few of our businesses now because we are really starting to see a good bit of growth. So olive oil, let's increase that. And then from there we'll go, let's have a 3rd train running now, as soon as we can afford that, because then that's pushing out more olive oil, which is supplying the cities with what they need. Upgrading that as well, just to do little by little. See, that's now also you know, pushing out the sawmills, so that is good. And it then dictates, do we need more trains running? At the minute, no, but as the goods increase, possibly yes. that one's going to be our next one to upgrade. And like I said, guys, it might seem very slow. It might seem that we're not. It might just seem very slow, but it's being meticulous and getting the right thing done. That's what it's all about. It's not about just forcing my way through the tracks up to the city, to connect to the next city. I'm not interested in that growth. I'm interested in the correct growth around these cities, and getting what we need. Like wine needs to be upgraded as well, because we're just not producing enough wine. But that's 500,000 to upgrade that. Whereas for sawmills, it's going to cost us 361. And like I said, the next business here at Latina will be Grappa. Just check this research again. What have we got? Increased price. Yep. And reduce the price of what's that? We'll do that one. All good stuff, guys. All good stuff. And we also need to increase that one as well. So that one's 325. So between just them two businesses, we're going to be looking at 700,000. But the return should be there. So do we do this goods one first, or do we do wood first? That's the question. Let's do the wood first. Because then we should be able to increase that train to 2. Because we're now supplying enough goods from there that it should like be filling the trains and going. Can't see the train, quite see the train. Yeah, so the second one is waiting for goods, but that's because we're still not producing quite enough, but it should be alright. We're making a lot more wood than we were before. So we might have to increase that yet again, but the next task will be to increase this one. See, money is jumping up pretty quickly now. $325, so we're almost at the position of upgrading that as well. Good stuff. Do that. Let's get that done. Right, so we've now upgraded a lot of the little stations that we own. The next one will be wine. Let's see how this one's doing. So do you know what? We could probably put, because it's got such a distance to cover, a third train on that. And then that way it's got a constant supply of goods coming out. And then we look at the warehouse. The warehouse has got 5 in it, so do we then need to increase the amount of trains running out of the warehouse? What's that? Caputo stop. Oh, that's the... So do we now need to put 2 trains to Rome? And 2 trains, you know, to Civicchia. We definitely need to increase wine, and we need to get cheese coming in, and grappa. We don't want this to grow to 90 at the minute, though. See, that's waiting for goods, so we don't need a second one of them yet. And that's loaded up straight... Oh, no, not quite straight away either. So is that because we don't have enough milk? Yeah, we don't actually have any milk or olives. Right, we don't need 3 trains on that at the minute. All looking good, guys. All looking really good. Let's look at this wine industry next. We get that upgraded, we should then start seeing a lot more wine coming through. So we'll upgrade that to 2 trains now. Good. So the next destination will be Naples. And then we've got Salerno. And we've also got Benevento. Now Benevento is probably going to be beneficial more than Salerno at the minute. So what we'll do is we'll put a train station here, so that we can go north to Benevento. Now for now, I'm just trying to see what line I've put that in on. We'll just keep it like that, and then once money gets a lot better, we can then increase our line. Our lines to match what we've already got going on, because we know that bottom line is our sort of like warehouse line. So when we, depending on which way we do it, because we could run wood into Naples and through to potentially a warehouse here. Oh, we've got no money. It's all been taken. Beautiful. I do like it when it does that. Not. that is disgusting. Yeah, so we need to be looking at the placement of that. So let's just put contours on for a minute and see what we've got that's going to be an ideal location for that stop. Probably something along the lines of that, running with the contours of the map. And this line again being our warehouse sort of line. Just try and make it so it flows in a bit better. Ugh. Don't like that at all. I don't like that at all, guys. Okay, let's retry that. Fortunately, we are going to have to cascade up the mountain a little bit. And we need to do it as cheap as possible. Actually, that's worked out alright, I think. It's actually not worked out too bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. So we could make this a warehouse, even though that's facing possibly the wrong direction. Because you've got wheat, and you've got grapes, olives. Oh, that's inexpensive. Why are olives so expensive? Oh yeah, we'll purchase that. Just trying to look at what we can buy that's going to benefit us in the future. Yeah, we'll purchase that as well. And we'll purchase this one. Yeah, so we'll purchase them. Although they're not making us any money at the minute. Oh, Rome. Rome has grown again, which means we need another business. And the business probably for there will be pickles. Because if you think about it, we've got olive oil down below. And we've got veg there. So that is going to be our next business venture here. I just don't think we're making enough olive oil. I think we do need a third olive oil train. I do think we need... No, we don't. We don't. We just don't need it quite yet. It's just on the cusp of needing it. But if Rome has that, then we definitely will need it, because it will be generating even more olive oil. So that's our next task, is to purchase the next business rather than progressing. Currently we've got nothing going to Naples, so that's not an issue. we're not having to focus on that side of the map at the minute. We've also got olives there, which would work too. So with that, now we're definitely going to need 2 trains go into Rome. If not 3. $723. We literally cannot produce enough olive oil, I don't think. So let's have a look at a 3rd olive train. And see what happens. And what we might have to do here, guys, is actually run this train line directly through Rome in its own right. Just so that we don't block our warehouse lines. I'm quite happy to do that if that's absolutely necessary too. So do we up that to 2 now? Let's upgrade that. We are absolutely tanned on money again now. So now Rome has reached the 100,000, guys. We're not going to put anything there as of yet. We're going to be managing. What we need to be doing is getting a really good supply of everything in that we need at the minute. So at the minute we've got no cheese, and we've got no grappa, we've got no dresses, we've got no oranges, so and no leather, no tools, no glass, no. We've got nothing. We haven't got enough. of everything we need. So what we need to do is fulfill all them tasks first, before we look at even progressing any further, guys. That's what we need to be doing. It's that simple at the moment. Rather than just going, oh well, let's get the university there and let's get, you know, the goods moving. It's not that simple. We haven't even fully kind of explored getting all the way to Naples yet. We can't certainly produce enough olive oil or cloth at the minute. Are they actually waiting? Yeah, they are starting to wait now. So let's upgrade that. And then what we'll do then is start focusing on Naples to Benevento. And we'll then just trying to think here. Do we want a separate line for grapes? I'm not interested in that task, sorry. Do we put a separate grapes line for grapes, olives in on this side of this warehouse? I wonder if we should do that. I'll tell you what we have got somewhere, and I can't remember where it is. I think we've put a supply tower somewhere, didn't we? Did we? Did we not? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Not like we actually need it. So, money's going up nicely. What we want to do, of course, is not lose what we've done here. So let's put a supply tower there. Delete that, and then we can. Oh, go away. Put that in. We're going to put it in on that line. That's because I want to be able to feed goods into this warehouse without the risk of blocking up the lines, because we do need these cities to grow in a way that will allow us then to continue to making goods get towards Rome. So we're now in a position where we can do that. And at the minute we're not actually connecting anything to Naples at the minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a warehouse. Let's put a maintenance depot and a warehouse there. And in that warehouse we're going to start with wood, because wood's already on the line. So new rail line, and we're going to run it down on this line 100% of the time. So we want that to be making sure it's waypointed. Now, how much is that to purchase? 81,000. That's going to be a bonus for us. So then we do a new rail line from there. That's going to be, that's the warehouse line. So that always will stay on that line. And obviously it's not going to need pigs, but that's not an issue. It will need wood, it will need wheat. It will need grapes, it will need olives. Such an expensive line. Well, but we are avoiding, of course, mountainous areas if possible. That's a bonus. Okay. And that will say we don't need it, but as soon as we put grapes in the warehouse, not grapes, olives, sorry, it will start loading. Extra bit of money never hurt anyone. All looking good, guys. We are looking good. Let's try and figure this out so it's as cheap as possible. Again, we're probably not going to need grapes at the minute. But we know we've got that land purchase now as well.
We have to cross this task off the list.
Wow. Yeah, we spent a lot of money doing that, didn't we? Oh, we do need grapes. That's always good. And then the next task will be to get to Benevito. Yeah, that's a disgusting track line. Okay, if that's how it's got to be, that's how it's got to be. It's not cheap at all, this, in any way, shape or form. This task, this trophy is just hard. In every aspect, it's hard. But it does get easier. The more trains we get arriving, the easier it becomes. We don't need that one. We'll have that one. But we can't get that one unless we get that one. So we'll focus on that one. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to do that one. Just wondering if we need 2 trains running olives now. Is that because we're out of goods? No, it just mustn't need as much. Don't really want to be pushing that at the minute. We will upgrade them, of course, as we see fit. So the next task will be to connect Naples and Benevito. Okay, so I have now put 6 lines, sorry, connecting between Naples and Benevento, and unfortunately Naples grew, so I put a cheese factory there. Now what I also did was I took another bond and paid off the other 2 bonds, so the interest shouldn't be so bad. Now the next job will be to get a goods train running between Naples and Benevento, so we're going to run that up there and back on that line. It's probably going to need 2 trains to begin with for now. Okay, and then we're going to also put 2 express trains up that way as well. Okay. Hold on, what's not connected with overhead lines? Connected with overhead lines on that short. What bit wouldn't be connected with overhead lines? I'm not sure what's gone on there, because this looks like it's all overhead lined to me. Can't really not overhead line. That's the thing. Okay, so maybe we'll. Let's just see if it's this side. Right, no, it's not this side, so it's the other side. It's the other side that's not. And I don't see why, because it's all. Take that line away, and let's go all the way back from there to Naples. Now, something else I had to do, guys, was just cannot construct this length of tunnel. What tunnel are we connecting here? Shouldn't be connecting any tunnel. What? Ah, hold on. Right, so hopefully now that will allow us to run a rail line from Naples and up. I don't see what the issue actually was. Oh, okay, right, brilliant. So we've now got a couple of express trains and a couple of goods trains running between Naples and Benevento. We still don't have anything connecting this side of the tracks yet, but that's going to change in a minute, because we now need to start looking at our first warehouse, because we now have cheese being made here, and of course cheese is something we need to get connected. So what I'm going to do is, now we've got a good million, we're going to start getting these lines done here. That will soon eat up really quickly. Oh, and we've also got a train taking milk to Naples too, and that might have to increase. That should stay on the same track, it shouldn't be an issue.
to do is make sure that we're running. I just want to make sure that we can have it running correctly, guys, that's all. So yes, we're spending a bit of money doing this, but it makes it right. Because then the next task will be to put a warehouse. So we're going to go warehouse. The next warehouse will be there. And what you're going to find is we're going to run. So we're going to run a single line that goes from Naples to the warehouse. We'll probably run it through that train station as well, because it's not. It's got a. It just keeps the lines tidy, and then we can also run that same line. Look, Benevito's got a business opportunity as well, which is what we'll take. We'll run that though, although we can't run it through here. We'll figure it out. We'll probably either just run it alongside. Or we could even run it through there. Because we don't actually have the space that I really wanted. What should we put here? We said leather, didn't we? So that's only 362, so that's not too bad. And let's put it about there. Let's get that on the go. Because we want to be running dedicated lines. We don't want to be overflowing the lines, because these warehouse lines, we're also going to run other trains to the warehouse through it. So we're going to put we're going to name that warehouse warehouse 4, because that's going to be warehouse 3, isn't it? Or we could just call that warehouse. Really make much of a difference at this point, does it? Because we're only having one supplied up there. So we need more money again, and in this we're going to have to put obviously a maintenance depot and a warehouse, and in that warehouse would be, so far for now, so cheese and leather. We just need to wait for more money again, guys. Oh, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that if we want that. So like I said, I want to run a train line that runs. Tell you what we'll do. Let's get. Oh, we haven't completed that rail line yet. Let's complete this rail line up to here. Oof. Another not cheap one, guys. Wow. Although once it's in place, it's in place. It's 270. So what we can, well, we can't until we actually put the grid irons as well. Backwards then. Let's make sure we're all sorted on that. 270, we'll have that in no time, to be fair. And once that's done, we can then get goods and stuff moving between Latina and Naples. And then it also means that I've got my tracks in place where I want them. Ready for the next stage. So let's get a new rail line running. So let's go from Latina up the middle tracks. Middle track. And up the middle track. That goes to Naples. Back down the middle tracks. And more importantly, it doesn't bring cheese back. And it doesn't bring cheese back for the simple fact I want cheese to be in the warehouse. It needs to be in the warehouse. Very simple. Up the outside. And now that is our express route. Brilliant. So now that's got that all connected, and we've got trains running. We might need more than 2 trains. That. Let's just see how the goods one looks. Let's get maintenance depot there. So that has now got all of them connected, no issue. The next task will be to get the warehouse done. So guys, in part 3, that's what we're going to be focusing on, the warehouses and getting more goods moving. So join me in part 3. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.